Imagine being born into a world where everything is glossy, cold, and unshakably perfect. A place where success is measured in stock prices and affection is traded like currency. That was the world of Isabella, the only daughter of Victoria Sterling, known on Wall Street as the Ice Queen. And from the very first moment Isabella could walk in her mother's expensive heels, the world expected her to become just as ruthless, untouchable, and perfectly composed. But what happens when the daughter of a woman who never cracks finally breaks in front of everyone? And what happens when the person who saves her isn't another billionaire, but a mechanic from the other side of the city? Stay with me until the end of this story, because the way it unfolds will remind you of something vital: how to breathe again when life is crushing you. If this story touches your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more stories that will move your soul. Isabella Sterling had lived 19 years under the iron shadow of her mother's reputation. Victoria Sterling, with her diamond smile and icy stare, had clawed her way to the top of Wall Street, making enemies and fortunes in equal measure. She was admired, feared, and hated, but never ignored. For Isabella, though, Victoria wasn't a mother. She was a ruler. Every meal was a lesson, every dress a statement, every achievement a stepping stone to the empire her mother had designed for her. Isabella was allowed no cracks, no tears, no hesitation. She was expected to glide through life like her mother did, cold, unbreakable, flawless. But under that polished exterior, Isabella was crumbling. No one saw the panic attacks that tightened her chest at night. No one saw the way she pressed her nails into her palms until they left half-moon scars, just to keep her emotions from spilling in public. She tried to be the daughter her mother demanded, but the pressure was suffocating. She could ace exams, deliver speeches, and smile for cameras, but she couldn't silence the scream inside her head: "I don't know who I am. I don't know if I even want this life." Her breaking point came at a charity gala. The ballroom sparkled with chandeliers, the air heavy with perfume and power. Isabella, wrapped in a couture gown, was expected to stand at her mother's side like a perfectly cut diamond. But as the speeches began, her chest tightened. She couldn't breathe. The walls seemed to close in. The carefully memorized smile faltered. And then, in front of New York's elite, Isabella Sterling, the daughter of the Ice Queen, collapsed into tears and sobs that refused to be contained. The headlines the next morning were brutal. Sterling heiress loses control. The Ice Queen's daughter melts down. Her mother's face, as icy as ever, didn't flinch, but the silence that followed at home was worse than rage. Isabella was a disgrace, a liability, an embarrassment. And when her mother left for another board meeting without a word, Isabella did something reckless: she ran. She tore off the jewelry, slipped out of the mansion, and wandered the city until her heels broke. Crying, barefoot, lost among strangers, she stumbled into a part of town she'd never seen before, the kind of place her mother called forgettable. That's when she noticed the soft glow of a garage, the sound of music spilling from an old radio, and the smell of oil and steel. Inside, a young mechanic was wiping his hands on a rag, humming to himself as he leaned over a car engine. His name was Miguel. He wasn't rich. He wasn't powerful. He wasn't anything her mother would approve of. But when he looked up and saw her red-rimmed eyes and trembling body, he didn't ask who she was or why she looked like a porcelain doll cracked open. He just said, "Hey, you look like you forgot how to breathe." Something about his calm voice broke the storm inside her. Isabella laughed through her tears, a laugh that sounded more like a sob, and whispered, "I think I did." Miguel didn't try to fix her the way everyone else always did. He didn't offer solutions or pity. Instead, he showed her something simple. He guided her to sit on a milk crate, handed her a greasy bottle of water, and said, "Okay, close your eyes. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale slow. Again." His hands moved gently as he demonstrated, and though the garage was filled with the sound of clinking tools and car engines, Isabella felt a silence she hadn't felt in years. For the first time, someone wasn't demanding perfection. Someone was teaching her how to simply exist. Over the next days, Isabella kept returning. Miguel never asked for her last name, though he surely knew it. He just talked to her, about cars, music, the beauty of fixing something broken with your hands. Slowly, Isabella learned to speak about herself without rehearsed lines. She admitted her fears, her doubts, the crushing weight of living in someone else's image. And Miguel listened. Truly listened. When her mother finally tracked her down, Victoria Sterling stormed into the garage with her usual frostbitten fury. She was ready to drag her daughter back into the empire she had built. But for once, Isabella stood her ground. With Miguel quietly at her side, she said, "Mother, I'm not you. I don't want to be your perfect reflection. I just want to be me. Even if that means breaking. Even if that means disappointing you."